7:01 p.m. Better late than never. Boogie with the Bull Tuesday Night Live is on your device. Tonight it's on my Chromebook. It's on my on tablet. It's even on my cell phone. So you can catch us anywhere. We're live on the Dave Globin profile over here on Facebook. We are live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. We will be live on groups all over Facebook. If you're watching, I hope you will share it all over Facebook. And if you're not and you're watching it on YouTube, I hope you will take it from YouTube and share it everywhere you can. Michael Anthony has a link, and hopefully he will drop by. And Randy Rhodes has a link, and hopefully he will drop by. Beth McCord cannot be with us tonight. She is working hard with her best defenses to avoid Facebook jail before April, and busily working on that. So she will not be with us tonight. Jen Woodruff cannot be with us tonight. I know that she is planning a wedding for her son and future daughter-in-law, and very actively involved in that. And also, I swore I wasn't going to say this tonight. I really did. Last night, after I got booted from being able to take part in the American Rebellion live chat, I watched the program, but I left because I had things to do just before Jen Woodruff came on. And I understand that Jen may have made a comment last night that she thought that two other people that I do broadcasts with and myself are angry at her. So I'm going to kind of do something like the other guy said last night. Read my lips, pay attention. I am not angry at anybody. Okay? I'm not upset over how I handle myself on my broadcasts or how I have handled myself on other people's broadcasts. I'm sorry that I didn't work out on your broadcasts and you put up with me as long as you can. I'm not angry at anybody. Anybody is welcome still to come on to a Boogie with the Bull broadcast. All I ask is, like I said before, if you don't like me, you don't like how I function, then don't come on a Boogie with the Bull broadcast. Because if you come on to a Boogie with the Bull broadcast, you're likely to get cut off by me. You're likely to get interrupted by me. You will very rarely get booted from the broadcast by me, because I don't do that, really, unless you just really get me so mad that there's really no alternative. I've killed broadcasts before. You just ended a broadcast rather than killing one person off. I just try not to get that angry anymore. Background noise here. Hey, I'm sorry. We got a 15-year-old gray tiger kitty, and when she talks, she talks. And when we got a 12-year-old Chihuahua, and when she talks, she talks. She's a very bullheaded Capricorn, born on the same day in January as her bullheaded Capricorn father. So when she feels it's time to talk, she talks. If my wife talks to me while she's sitting here in the bedroom studio, sometimes you will hear that. If noise is going on outside in the living room, which is just outside our door, or the dining room, or the kitchen, or the garage, or the backyard, or the bathroom, hey, you know what? We're not like Bongino. We don't make $75 million a year. We don't have millions of dollars to spend on a studio. I like to bitch about not having millions of dollars to spend on a studio or design AIs and have them do the broadcast for me. But, you know, I'm just tired of crap. It's getting in the way of what we need to be doing. My job isn't to come on Boogie with the Bull anytime I can take an hour and do a broadcast like I did this morning and gripe about everything that Facebook wants me to gripe about, because Facebook wants me to hate every other broadcaster on Facebook. Facebook wants me to hate, wants them to hate me. Facebook wants conservatives to hate me. Facebook wants conservative patriots to hate me, MAGA people to hate me, Democrats to hate me, American neo-Nazis to hate me, whatever the hell your political perversion is on Facebook, they want you to hate me. Well, I've been here on Facebook for 15 years. I've been doing broadcasts somewhere between 3, 4, 5 years now on Facebook. And if you don't hate me by now, you're too late. And as I said this morning on a broadcast that I didn't think would get any live views, it got 36 live views. And the last time I looked at it, it was at 61 as a podcast. We're doing okay. And it's not about the total number of views anymore. Total number of views are nice. It just tells me how many people are watching or have watched, and it gives me some indication as to whether or not I should continue doing it. But you know what? I'm not going anywhere. If you go back on my profile and you search way back, way back to when I first started doing it, whether it was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I don't know, you will find plenty of classic Boogie with the Bulls where it was me, a microphone, a Chromebook, and just sitting here doing ramble fests and tangent trees for 3 hours. And I don't believe anybody was watching in those days. Maybe a few. Maybe Danny Campbell was watching back in those days. But you know what? I'm here. I enjoy doing what I do. I'm going to keep doing what I do. I'm going to keep doing what I do for as long as I can do it. Yes, there will come a day where my Parkinson's side and my dementia side meet, and I may not be able to sit in this chair long enough to do it. But I tell you what, if I can wear a seatbelt, sit in this chair, and still do a Boogie with the Bull broadcast, that's what I'm going to do. Okay? And I hope that you will watch. I hope you will share it. I hope you will send me ideas. I hope you will come on and share the fun with me. This was never supposed to be one of those big-time broadcasts where I come on and spout what I want you to believe, word for word, every day, and hope that you make me out to be some kind of social media god. This was about being on in the morning when the coffee generation around 10 o'clock in the morning had time to sit back with a cup of coffee and watch something, hear some thoughts, think some thoughts, make some comments, and hopefully decide for yourself. Then I decided, it would be cool that if you can watch at 10 o'clock in the morning and hear somebody who does a broadcast at 7 o'clock in the evening, or on these days, or 8 o'clock in the evening this day, and I can maybe even get that person to come on and talk with us, you learn something else to watch. Because honest to God, to tell you, if I could, I'd have a stable. And by stable, I just mean I'd have StreamYard, and I'd have 500 million people doing an hour a day broadcast on Facebook if I had them through my StreamYard, not paying me, just doing it to speak their mind and hopefully educate and get people thinking the way you might want to get to be thinking. So Paul Smith is watching, and Paul says, "Hello, Dave. Glad to see you. You're doing just fine in my book." Great. Paul, thank you very much. And I don't usually flash those comments on the screen because I get kind of embarrassed. And also, a lot of times, everybody knows, I don't think I'm doing anything special. I don't think I'm good at this. I just enjoy doing it. It's very easy to fire up your Chromebook, put a monitor on your side so that you can read the live chat comments a little easier, and just sit here and ramble fest from one idea to another. So a reminder, Boogie with the Bull broadcasts are Tuesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. till no later than 8:30, sometimes 9 o'clock. Saturday morning, 10 a.m., a rare Saturday morning Boogie with the Bull may actually become a regular Saturday morning Boogie in the Bull, or Boogie with the Bull over the next few weeks because we have an opportunity to do them. I did mention on this morning's broadcast that Thursday morning and Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, Randy Rhodes and I are just going to come on and have fun. And some of the fun is going to be promoting Randy Rhodes' new broadcast, which I believe is genealogy based without any politics. And so we'll talk about that. And we'll talk about the news of the day. We will talk about politics because that's what we want to do on Boogie with the Bull at 10 o'clock in the morning on a weekday, is talk about politics. So if you have an idea, something you want to talk about, make sure you message me on Messenger or email it to boogiewiththebull@gmail.com. BOOGIEWITHTHTHEBULL. Boogiewiththebull@gmail.com. Try saying that 27 times fast. I don't even think I can say it one time fast anymore. Boogiewiththebull@gmail.com. If you spam me, it goes into the spam filter. If you write me and you don't hear back from me within usually a day, message me and tell me to go look for it, because sometimes email that should go through looks like spam and it gets treated like spam. Whoops, there we go. So that's the best I can tell you. Robin Brunson, I see, is watching. Jane O'Malley is watching. Paul Smith, like I said, is watching. We're live on Facebook. We're right now just on the Dave Bluden profile. I haven't gotten a chance to do the sharing. I usually like to do the sharing when I have a guest going so that I can pay attention to doing the live sharing at the same time. But this is what we do. And it's really not hard. I had mentioned Boogie with the Bull boot camp all the time. What it really is if you've ever thought about wanting to do your own broadcast on Facebook, sit with me through a Boogie with the Bull on the Tuesday, the Thursday, the Saturday, whatever time might be good for you. We'll come on. If you decide you want to do it, I will make my StreamYard available to you. And I pay for my StreamYard. I'm giving you free access to a StreamYard. I'll set you up as a team so that you and your crew can log on to StreamYard and go live whenever you want. The only thing I say is that if you are going to do something that's going to get you in trouble with StreamYard or get you in trouble with Facebook, or actually the rules are, if you use my StreamYard, you can't use my Facebook destinations and you can't use my YouTube destination. You have to have your own YouTube channel and you have to have your own Facebook destination. And before I cut you loose using mine, you'll be set up with yours. But it's not that hard to do. You want to sell stuff on your broadcast to make money and then go off and get your own StreamYard one day? Great. You want to continue to use mine, and if you're doing really well, then maybe we'll get a couple of bucks toward paying the StreamYard bill, and we'll make it a community account for anyone and everyone. I want to get onto Rumble. It has nothing to do with what happened with other broadcasts that are on Rumble. I've wanted to get on Rumble for a very long time. The Boogie with the Bull Rumble channel is sitting there waiting. And all it's sitting there waiting for is for me to send the first $10 into Rumble so they will give me the codes and the card key that I need for StreamYard, and we'll be on Rumble. I want to be on Twitch. Excuse me. I want to be on Twitter, X. I meant to say Twitter. I didn't mean to say Twitch. I want to be on Twitter, but I can't afford it. I think it's $11 a month there. And I can't pay $25 for StreamYard, $10 for Rumble, $11 for X, and whatever anybody else is going to charge me. And I have to upgrade my StreamYard if I go more than 3, because we only get 3 on our package. So there's more expenses, and I will do the best that I can. May have to beg for money and push merchandise when we have to, but we're only doing it because We need the money to do it. We don't make any money off of this. This is the bipartisan Boogie with the Bull uncensored mug. And it is a truly bipartisan mug. You can hold it in your left hand and show the world that you are a socialist media left wing nut who watches Boogie with the Bull broadcast. You can hold it in your right hand and show everybody that you are a conservative patriot and a proud member of MAGA Nation who supports Boogie with the Bull broadcast. It's a 20-ounce mug, and it is made to order, one at a time, from a place that Jen Woodruff is set up with. I think it's $20. The mug itself, printed with the logo, is $10, and it costs $10 to ship it to you. It comes in a really nice styrofoam cube so it doesn't break on its way to you. It's $20. We don't make any money off of it. Jen might make a few dollars off of it if she sells one to you. I really don't care. I really don't care. We may do a travel mug later in the year, or maybe not. I don't know, but at some point I'd like to. And hopefully we might do some t-shirts, and we talk about everything. I never did this because I wanted to get rich. I never did this because I wanted to get rich. I just do it because I enjoy doing it. You can link them all. Yes, you can, William, but you only get 3 destinations. And one is tied up on Facebook. One is tied up on YouTube. That leaves me one. So I can't have Rumble, and I can't have Twitch. I can't have X. I can only have one of the other. It will most likely be Rumble that will get added. And then once we see how we're doing on Rumble and YouTube and Facebook at the same time when we're live, then we'll make a decision. And if we were ever to run into a situation where we lose the YouTube channel because they don't like me a lot and they take it away from me here and there, but you can connect Rumble through YouTube for free. That's actually true. But when you do that, when you take the YouTube link and you go over and you post it on Rumble, they can watch it. But as far as live chats, are they cut out of? There's no live chat on Rumble. They would just be able to watch the broadcast. Because I know that we can take the YouTube channel and we can post it on Facebook, but there's no, you can't use YouTube live chat. You can only be on, you only get the live chat where you are. But okay, I'll talk to you about this. I'll get a hold of you in the next day or so when you have some time, William, and I have some time, because I would appreciate your help on it. I know that I can, like I said, I know I can go over to YouTube and take the link from YouTube and post it anywhere. But what I've heard is that if you do that, wherever you post it doesn't have live chat because their live chat isn't compatible with YouTube. But if it's not true, and you can take the YouTube link, like you're saying, and post it over on Rumble, then as long as there is live chat on Rumble, then it's something that I will look at. I want to pay them anyway, but if I can avoid it for a little bit longer, then that's what I would like to do. It's not that I don't want to pay these companies. It's just that, I'm still a believer that social media should be free and you should be able to watch whatever you can on social media. But I will talk to you after the broadcast. Maybe I'll try to get a hold of you sometime tomorrow when you and I both have some time to talk and we're not doing it over live chat. But I'm glad you're watching tonight, William. And matter of fact, I'm glad that you're watching tonight. The road to road to discovery. Randy Rhoads is here, as I said, Thursday and Friday at 10 a.m. We're just gonna fire up Boogie with the Bull and see how many times Randy Rhoads can slap me before he looks at me in his camera and yells, "I'm never coming back, F you, I'm gone," and then ignites his parachute. because I would be concerned if Randy Rhoads did this, because the All Roads Lead to Home Genealogy Network informed me that a lot of their broadcasts don't discuss politics. And I said, well, what about sarcasm? And they said, well, sarcasm's okay. But I said, well, what if it's political sarcasm? They said, that's even better. So,
yeah, my hair looks.
How are you, Randy?
Yeah, sorry about being late.
That's all right.
I'm doing good.
I was a few minutes late myself too. But,
that's good. I think at least we're both being late, and we both come from good breeds. So
hey, when you're 65 years old, you're allowed to be late. I was reading the Boogie with the Bull contracts, and it actually says if you're 65 years old, you're allowed to be late.
There you go. And then I'm in there for guests.
But the excuse that you're late, you always use the excuse if you're going to be late was that you had to drive around the parking lot to find a handicap space.
There you go. Or to kick people out there. You use them, they don't deserve them.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
That is right. So Michael may drop by at some point. I don't know. But like I said earlier, I'm not revealing sources of who told me, because I only watched so much of that other broadcast last night, and I left before Jen Woodruff came on. And from what I understand, some comments may have been made. I really want to bury this thing and just get it done. But like I said this morning on the broadcast, read my lips. I'm not angry at anybody. You want to do somebody else's broadcast, that's fine. You want to do my broadcast, that's fine. The only thing I don't like, and I will tell people I don't like after the 3, 4, 5 years we have been doing this, is when you commit to me and tell me that you're going to be on, and then a half an hour before you tell me you can't do it because you're going to do someone else. And I shouldn't get mad, but I do, because I try to plan something and then I got to sit here and do something else. So, but I don't care. I don't care. And as I said this morning, if you're on any broadcast on Facebook that I've ever been on and you're angry at me and you want to come bitch me out, you're more than welcome to come on to a Boogie with the Bull broadcast and bitch me out. When you're done bitching me out, at least thank me for having you as a guest on Boogie with the Bull, and allow me to invite you to come back. Because if you just ignite your parachute and you leave without giving me a chance to either respond or thank you for being here, then no, I'm sorry. You can go on the waiting list. And I don't know. Anyway, how are you? Your mic is off.
Do you remember I used to have that white cat, and she was 20. Well, she finally passed away. And this one here, that's Cora.
Yeah.
Since Belle is no longer in the office, she now comes into the office, and Cora is just like up in my face with all this love and affection. And I'm trying to get work done, and all she's doing is brushing up against me, and she's meowing and carrying on. It's like, I gotta get some work done, sweetheart.
They know.
Yeah.
They know when other animals that they live with are sick.
Yeah.
They know when another animal has passed away.
Yes.
And they want to comfort you, because they probably figure you want to comfort them.
Yep. It's amazing what cats and dogs, especially dogs, but amazing what cats and dogs can pick up your emotions. They know when you're sad. They know when you're sick. And no, I'm not going to say every cat and dog. Okay, there are the unique, ones who could care less. But it seems like our other cats that we have here have the no Bill's no longer here. Bill was the dominant cat of the upstairs. So whenever certain cats would come from downstairs to upstairs, she would fight them to go back down to keep them downstairs. But now that she's gone, the cats know she's gone. They feel more comfortable coming upstairs. They feel more comfortable being in the office with me. Sonata, she sleeps next to me now, and so does Kendo. So those two cats realize that Bill used to sleep with me. Now she's gone. So now the two of them are sharing my bed with me, and it just blows my mind the way cats and dogs can react to human emotion. I just wish that humans can react to each other with the emotions of the sense of loss or illness or whatever.
Yeah. All right, hold on there, Michael. If you're trying to tell me that the only way you can do it is through Messenger, by calling in, unfortunately, I can't do that tonight. There's other things going on in the house, and I can't do a.
I'm gonna press him link.
He has a link.
Oh,
he has a link to come on, but he's got a phone icon on the screen. And if he's trying to tell me the only way he can come in is over the phone, I'm trying to tell him I can't do a speaker call tonight. There's things going on the other side of our bedroom.
You can call me, and I can put him through a microphone.
That's up to you. If you want to let him do that, you can give him the number and he can do that. I can't take a speakerphone call because there is work going on in my daughter-in-law's office, which is on the other side of the bedroom, and they don't need to hear a speakerphone going on in here. So it's not that I don't want to do it. I can't do it. Actually, I do, William. Where is it? Where is it? I hate. Oops, hold on. Yeah. No, hold on. All right, hold on. Let me do this. No, I don't want to do that. Hold on a minute. Cancel. Yeah, all right, there it is. Hold on a minute. Mr. William. I got it. We're not as advanced here as I would like to be, but hold on. We're probably never going to be advanced here as I would like to be. So hold on. Let me do this. We'll do this. We're not as advanced as those other StreamYard broadcasters who have actually figured out how to actually, wait a minute. No, that's actually not true. Hold on. Copy. No, wait a minute, because that doesn't always work, because it doesn't let me do it. Yeah. Let's see. No, it went to the Boogie with a Bull YouTube channel. But anyway, all right, hold on, William. Let me do it this way. Bear with me for a second here. And we'll do it this way. Wait a minute. Hold on. 4 EP9 Z3 XPH2 XPH2. If I did it right, I did it right, William, that's the link. And if I didn't do it right, then it's not the link, and I'll have to try to do it again. But try that. Try that. And so we'll see if we can get this in. If Randy can get Michael in on the phone, that would be great. If William wants to join us, if Michael wants to join us, I'm going to actually try this. Let me try doing it over here. We really need a world-class live producer to join.
Hey, somewhere between David and Alex.
Somewhere between David and Randy.
Yeah, there you go, Randy. You all got your load to get coffee in your cups. That's all I drink in my studio. What do you drink at your home?
Not enough.
I drink Max White House about 3 or 4 pots a day.
Yeah.
Hey, I was picked up by some friends, and no monetary value to it, but as an American product, I'm helping this company out. So, to America out there, check out Load Again Coffee and stay loaded.
Load Again Coffee and stay loaded. If you're looking for a beautiful, I don't want to call it a totem pole, but that's the easiest word to describe it. Michael Anthony is a master wood carver. And in the nice weather months, you will see him post pictures of the work that he has done. A master wood carver. I mean, we'll take a chainsaw and reduce a log to a match. But no, he does some
easier than you can carve them.
He does some beautiful carving. So if you are looking for that, talk to Michael Anthony. And if you're not looking for that, talk to Michael Anthony anyway. Watch all of the broadcasts.
The fight doesn't keep us all busy enough. So what's up? What are we talking? PsyOps? What's going on? What are you guys thinking tonight?
Anything and everything. There's the link. It's in the live chat on my page. If anyone else wants to try to join, Ichabod, I saw you in there. If you want to join, you're more than welcome to join. I'm the Outcast tonight. My evening caffeine is Mountain Dew.
So the one thing that has me excited, and I'm sure we all heard it, and that is the fact that the news media and for most part, I guess, the judicial system feels that because of Joe's senility, he won't be fit to go to court to face charges about his illegal documents. So I guess my question is, if he's unfit to stand trial because of being senile or dementia, as they said, then how is he fit to be commander-in-chief of our great nation?
Well, if he's not, and then my other question, I'm sorry I cut you off, you stopped, but my question is, if he is unfit to be president because of the dementia, doesn't that mean that he's incompetent to stand trial? And if he's incompetent to stand trial, can't they lock him up or send him to an asylum until he is ready and competent to stand trial? What do you think, William?
Good evening. Hi. How you doing?
What do you think, William?
I be honest with you. When you already knew from the beginning, there's no way to answer these questions.
I know.
When you knew he wasn't the one running the show from the beginning, there's really no way to answer the questions. We knew he wasn't the one running the show. Now this is just further proof. So I just leave it at that.
So what do you think, Michael? You started saying something.
I say he walks, and it's something that I told all you guys on shows that they would use this narrative into the future to protect him so he can retire lavishly and not be charged with anything. And that's pretty much how they're laying it across the board, presidential protections. He did wrong. They know it, but they feel he's incompetent. And by them saying it, as damaging as it is, it protects him. It really does. Whether he's the one controlling the narrative of the country or there's a third termister sitting there with him, I don't think it makes any difference. And I get that people will be and have other opinions on that, but that's just mine. And that's how I've always focused. And I truly have made that statement a long time ago, time and time again, that we would come to this point, and here it is. It's going to protect him. It's going to protect him a lot more than they're going to try to protect Trump, without a doubt. It's a double-edged sword event where he wins.
So with this out in the open, to where even CNN is using the terminology of his mindset and dementia. Do we anticipate or hope to expect those on the right to start pushing was it Article 53 or whatever that number is to get him out of the office?
Article 25.
25, thank you.
You asking me or?
Yeah, I'm asking you to start. But yeah, I guess what we should do is, I guess one of us should be the narrator here and give each other one a chance to talk. So let's go with you. I'm going to assume the narrator position, and we're going to go with you, Michael, for your response.
I think we'll see an easement and forwardness on things that even Marjorie Taylor Greene did. Because remember, everything that Trump was charged with, they were going after Marjorie on. Don't ever forget that part of it. So the role of narrative here in PSYOPs is, in my belief, that, they will come up with a new plan. And suddenly, after this announcement, $250 million were appropriated between 7 states for advertising for a president that was unnamed running. How do you like that?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, true story. True story.
I don't know that. What do you think about this, William?
It's the first time I've heard of it. I mean, I know they're going to try what they want to try, but my main thing is to stay focused on is, one, Joe Biden may be old, but we're talking about things he did when he was competent. They're trying to use these word games with people that don't listen clearly. We can't equate his mindset today with what he did years ago. That's what they're trying to get the American people to wrap their brains around. He might get off now with this administration, but you better bet your bottom dollar that when Trump gets back in office, he better pray he shows mercy on him. But even if Trump shows mercy on Joe, like I've said from the beginning, Hunter will pay for the crimes of his father because all the evidence is out there. It's just having an administration that's willing to do the right thing. That's all it is. And what they have done now is just expose Joe Biden with all the crimes that we thought he did, but they're trying to stand behind his age, which will only last during this administration. When the next administration comes in, he will be held accountable if they don't show him mercy.
Okay, so
can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Will Trump's attorney general be warranted to have the Justice Department drop all of these investigations against Trump? William.
When this administration is gone, we can only hope and pray that law and order comes back across the board. And if that happens, every unjust thing that was done will be overturned and redone. Everything that's been done to Trump is unjust. Yeah. All the charges and everything. So it's all about having authority to be able to correct all of the wrongs that have been done. That's all it's about, having authority.
So, Michael, back to what we were saying about the protection that the presidential office held for Hunter, with the dementia hanging over his head. Should Hunter start feeling the, shall we say, the pangs of the crimes coming against him starting to pile up to a point to where now he realizes that his dad can no longer protect him because he's now facing his own situation with his mental capacity. I better start worrying about myself and finding a way out of this, or find some other type of protection.
Yeah, he's not in a good place of position in this chess game. And it's bigger than just Hunter. It's the other connections of some of the other adversaries that have been kicking the dirt in our face throughout all of this since they have, come into position of power in Washington. Because it's going to fall back to Hillary Clinton, the emails. It's going to fall back to Anthony Weiner, human trafficking, child pornography. It's going to go to the missing laptop out of the Capitol that belonged to Nancy Pelosi. I mean, these are things everybody forgets about. So it's much bigger than that. I think Trump's going to do a widespread cleanup. And he's going to put people and places in charge. He probably is already working on an entirety of a new administration. And you know what? You have to be. Because the picture of this assembly is so big and the devastation that they have caused is so enormous. You better be planning ahead. And I think that job is being done and it's probably already in place. Trump's going to come in with an attack. I know he said he will only be a dictator for a day, and that will be to stop wars and get everything in law and order to the United States that can be controlled under his presidency. Again, what type of presidency are we looking at, and how will it be ran? And I think we'll be running again under the Republic and what America stands for and what it's always stood for. So it's going to be done with law and order. You will never hear him say that it won't be, nor the First Lady, until they practice the playfield. And I think they know it's a shoo-in, and they will get there. But again, do we have other worries? Do we have more that is going to affect us to possibly take us into more chaos before we get there? Will we see an election? These are some parts in the playbook that, we have no idea on yet. It's just not that far in the playbook to where I think anybody could call it. So we have a lot to prepare for, a lot to stay strong about. And I think as Americans, the stronger we come together and stay together and unify and spread positive word, but fact and law, we have a really super good chance. But again, it's not going to be an overnight change. Just prepare yourself for that. It's going to take a forever amount of time to reverse every bit of damage.
There's a question to anyone. Do we think that the Republican Party is going to stand behind Trump, or is there going to be that much of a divide that he may have to go on his own as an independent?
No, it'll be the same. He'll have his rhinos, but I would think the majority of the Republican Party will stay faced. Will stay as it's been. You'll have your ones that step out of line, but they'll be taken care of. But on a different note, I don't know if y'all heard, but we thank God we missed our first major attack. I know y'all heard what went on at Joel Osteen's Lakewood Church.
Yeah.
And thank God there were two off-duty officers that had the awareness to see in an instant a AR-15 being pulled out. That's the awareness of an officer, an instinct that a lot of people didn't have that they had, and they was able to take down a suspect after only a man and a 5-year-old being injured. It's come to find out that the lady was transgender, and embroidered on her AR-15 was Free Palestine. So we are now seeing the renditions of what's going to take place. Because just imagine Joel Osteen's Lakewood mega church if them two officers didn't respond in the way they did. We'd be talking about a different narrative this morning.
Yeah.
You would.
Kudos to them.
It's a shame that we have to have armed guards inside of our churches, cathedrals, mosques. Your church, Dave. What do you guys call your church?
Synagogues, temples.
Synagogues. Thank you. Yes, synagogues. It's a shame we have to have armed guards, but I think that we should put this narrative to also be inclusive of the schools. Look at the amount of violence lately in our high schools, elementary schools. When I was in high school in the 70s, I had my fair experience with a bully. So did my friends. And of course, the bullies all came from influential families, an attorney, a police officer, and something else. So the schools were very much aware that, we can't, do too much against them because mommy and daddy's going to come down to school. But nothing to the level of violence that would require us to have armed guards. But I think every school, every public school, every private school should take consideration of properly arming have their own security detail if you want. If any of the administrative or the educational staff are prior military, if they're still of sound mind and body, to have them go through the proper training. But I think it's come to a time where we have to start protecting our schools, protect our students, protect our children.
I think so. I agree. Michael?
Well, it's like here in America, common sense has went out the window. Anytime you have something that starts to take hold of a society, you're supposed to implement things as safeguards, especially if it pertains to violence. There should be metal detectors at every door, in every, like you say, Randy, at every high school, with a security guard standing on the other side of it. There are preventative measures that can be put in place. It's all up to the individuals that are running these cities to do right by the people and prioritize what's really important. That's all it is. They get enough money. They get plenty of money. But as we see where a lot of our money, our tax dollars money, goes to things that are totally irrelevant to actually, what we need here at home. So
yeah, I remember my high school, the security detail consisted of the male and female gym instructors, because they're the only ones who had the muscular mass to be a barrier between a possible bully in the hallway and not. You look down the hallway and you see this big ass gymnastic teacher, and on the side you see other gymnastic teachers. Like, holy the legs on those instructors are huge. So they were very impressive. So they maintained the level of violence in our schools.
Yeah, them type of people wouldn't last today, unfortunately. We would find
Yeah.
them wrapped up in the floor mat somewhere, beat up.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, because I mean, the instructions back then did not
Kids
phase
had
you.
respect back then. I
And
mean,
we did, you
you
know.
know, I guess there's a big difference when you lose that key component, respect.
Yeah.
Hey, so listen, can I intercede here for
Yep.
and interject for just a moment?
Yep,
Like,
go
I
Go
thought
ahead.
he was gone.
Absolutely, Michael.
There.
Absolutely, Michael. The floor is yours. Please leave it in its original upright position when you're done. Go ahead, Michael.
Go ahead, Michael.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I just wanted to make sure it was clear. I don't know if you guys know, but it's an interesting topic of what you're bringing up. And it has theory behind it, and it has substance behind it. So there's no real CT here. But years ago, there were things already in place in many schools throughout America. They weren't all handled properly. Let's be clear there. But there was metal detectors. There was armed security, to some degree armed. For whatever means and purposes that should mean, I don't know. But back in the day, they weren't carrying a sidearm. They would have other methods of dealing with radical behaviors, because they only figured that they would be dealing with students. But there were a lot of these things put in place. And then we know that things started to happen under Trump. Trump then put money out. He put big money out. The problem is the money went MIA. Because under Trump is when we started to see these invasions of problems in schools. Now, I know in Pennsylvania, all the retired state police were going to work in schools as security. Now, I'm not saying that it was happening everywhere. I can verify that as 100% factual. I know that $7 billion right now has been allocated to help the public educational system with better security systems and so forth. Now, how that will pan out, how it will work, one can only speculate when we see everything that we see, because we are deceived on every level. So it's sad, because the children must come first. Here's something else that's bigger than all that. A lot of people are totally unaware of a meeting that took place with Christopher Wray, and Joe Biden was supposed to come, but then refused to show up, where all the sheriffs across the United States, with the heads of the police departments, city police departments, went to a meeting, and it was a huge event, a very huge event. And the advice was given that every state should, now this happened about 90 days ago, but it's just coming out. They did it in sections. They did it in 3 sections because of the enormity of the amounts of people they needed to host. And again, Joe refused to go to every one of them. Now, just publicly that came out recently were 2 that I could verify. A third I'm waiting on. Was the first sheriff's office was in Florida, where they were deputizing and putting on training programs for volunteers into the to be part of the police divisions and law enforcement agencies, whether it was through deputizing or actually giving them a police badge, so to speak. But they would receive one. Now, just in Butler, Ohio, a video clip was released about, I'm going to say 10 days ago. And that's where Don Westman's from. Everybody knows Don Westman. Okay. And Don is very good friends with this sheriff to boot, where he acknowledged the fact, the truth behind all of this, that it's not theory, it happened. And now they are training, and they can only train up to 30 people per time, per session, and then deputize them and put them through an extensive training program with knowledge of AR-15 automatic weapons and situational task force. There's another word that should go behind it. I can't think of it right now. So on the bright side is pay attention to that, because it's going to be just more about than just in schools. But I know it's to also help and protect the schools where the failures are coming in place, and as well as in churches. So it's going to be a task force, a private task force of American citizens now, all over the United States, taking oaths to protect on the lower levels in law enforcement, which is in our domains of where we live. So we can at least count on that, and it's factual. Also, I think Christie Nome was one of the other states where there was some sheriffs starting to talk about their involvement to do the same thing. So there you have accountability of truth on three areas, 3 locations of this happening. Why is it happening? Why did it have to happen now? That's the big question. And I think when you really look at it, because we can't trust anybody and we must question everything, but we have to put trust in our police department. And when they come on and create podcasts to tell and make people aware that these factual things are happening, that we know that there's something bigger in the picture. And there truly is. And I would say while we're seeing this influx at the border and some of the other areas of open parts of the border, and by the way, thank you, Ray. You're a rock star for what you did. We're still getting in, but our main concern now is actually to the amounts, and we're paying attention to the government through good hands people. When I say that, I'm talking about military white hat observers, the Chinese. They're being blended. They have been being blended. And when we get to the topic of the factuality of they're saying, well, 13 million, 14 million. And from what I'm understanding that's coming out from Trump's new advisory, there were closer to 16 that actually made it in, including gotaways. Now, here's the other point that you've got to keep instilled in your mind. 30 years of this happening. Why do you think Trump wanted the wall? So for 30 years, we were taking on exchange students. We were our leadership was taking on marriages and marital affairs and everything else. Why do you think that was all happening? And how many do you think over the years got in? They're talking 40 million people were here. That's what they're talking. The true number is 40 million. So when people sit back and say, okay, we can deal with this 13 million, it's 330 million of us, and maybe 35% of them are on the left. Well, let me tell you something. The whole ball game changes when you have that. And look at what happened in Texas. And look at the comments and the letters of release through the United Nations, basically coming out saying after Governor Abbott has made his decision not to forfeit his position on keeping America safe in his own state. They are now weighing innuendos of insight through their executive branches back to Washington that they are dismayed with his decision. So something's about to break loose in a bad way. And I think we're taking preparations for whatever that is. I just hope we can handle it all.
The 40 million. So you're telling me that the true number of illegals coming in is 40 million?
Over the past 30 years.
Past 30 years.
30 years, yes. It didn't just happen because, this guy got into the presidency and the wall needed to be complete. No, this was something that started with foreign exchange students and progressed, as well as visitor visa passes that people never returned home, stayed here in America. The factual numbers need to be looked at on all the avenues of all of the grounds of where the system works, within the system that's working. The numbers don't lie. People are talking about it on the good side of media. I guarantee you it. Again, I think even Bill Muckler made mention of something that in the military branch, they were briefed on what they thought they knew of how many was getting in over the years. So maybe ask Bill some advice on it. But that's what I've been able to come up with. The numbers are much, much greater. And Trump knew it. And the cartel, he knew the influx of the flooding of that. I mean, we have cartels that own banks in America. How far are they not here?
We have been fighting this a long time.
Without a doubt, Roman.
Back to Kennedy, before him. We have to remember 2 key words in this whole thing. A lot of people don't like to say it, but I say it. Deep state. we have to understand that this is something that's been in the works for at least 70 years, from what I've been told. Through some powerful people throughout the world. When I first started this, people used to tell me about the global reset and what that meant and what it pertains to and all the players and money makers and who's all involved with it. America is just one small piece on the chessboard of a much bigger game. And it's sad what we're going to have to deal with and go through before it's all said and done. Like Michael said, we've been infiltrated 40 million, and I would say that's a good estimate. I dare say it is probably more than that. But there's going to come a day when America is going to once again have to defend herself against enemies, foreign and domestic. And
don't forget, and don't, I apologize, don't forget, Trump was leading a very intelligent way of removing these people while the whole time he was in office. Keep that in mind. That validates a lot of what you just said, Ray, as well as what I laid out.
Does anybody think it's a coincidence that everybody's fallen before Trump? If you look how this whole thing started out, he's still standing while everyone else around him is crumbling. That's not a coincidence. It was ordained to be that way. These people could still be at full steam ahead while he's dealing with this right now. But they're working at 10, 20%. Every aspect around them is crumbling. It's I like to say,
I mean, you have to remember when he was in office, how many ministers of different faiths would stand behind him with their hands over him and praying over him. And it's like you just used the words, he's ordained. There are many people who will go beyond that and say that God has chosen him to be the man to bring our nation back to God, back to believing in and worshiping the one true God. And perhaps that's why he's still standing, because he is keeping the faith. The people are through him are keeping the faith in the nation and God, and that all his enemies are falling before him. Yeah, I would go as far to say this, that I will admit that there is hope, and that I think that obviously my timetable is not God's timetable. It's on God's good time schedule, and he has his time schedule set. And perhaps this is it. All the enemies are fallen. The leader, Joe Biden, his dementia has now come out as being something to openly discuss and be concerned about. The protection that Hunter Biden once held as a wall between him and the cell doors closing in on him. I think the time schedule is right. I think God's won't be mocked, and his day is coming.
And not only is Donald not affected, his family. Now,
Correct.
yeah, his bystanders, his supporters, they might have felt the wrath, the General Flynn's and so, but his immediate family is protected. Do you notice how they haven't been touched politically or anything else?
Well, you also looked at that. His family didn't participate in any illegal shenanigans like drugs, pedophilia, underage sex, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Well, even
Right.
with the lies, I mean, it was like God said, hands up, y'all can try, but I'll make sure. I mean, there was never any big scandal with them. They couldn't even create a scandal with them.
Yeah.
What do you
You
think,
know?
Michael?
I'm sorry. What do I think?
What do you think? Because I know that when things move to God or godlike or of God, you often have a more, for lack of putting it better, a more enlightened view. But what do you think that is there truth behind what Ray is saying, that God is looking down and speaking to us through Brother Trump?
Well, I mean, that's like a theory of knowledge in ways. I mean, that people believe in certain things. They all have a different identification in their mind of source of what God is, whether it's from unified matter or electromagnetic energies. All we know is we are here in this place of creation, and every bit of it is an example of what creation means. We thrive as people. We seed the planet with children. The tree seed the planet with trees. The plant seed, and so on and so on and so on. That in itself is proof that there is something above humanity. That is why they are destroying it and placing a machine to control us. It won't be a man to control us. It will be a device. It is known as Alice. It is the king of all creation of quantum entanglement. It will read brainwaves. These towers that have been put up, as you and I talked about the other morning, are not here to help Wi-Fi and help us to have better broadcast.
Right.
We fail on our podcast. We get cut. We get deleted. This is a military devised weapon with our tax dollars coming back at us through, as Ray said, 70, 90, 100 years. When you look into the lockstep program, these people we don't even know their right names, but I could give you a couple. Rockefeller and Rothschild are actually the Orsinis. The Bushes are not even the Bushes. Prescott Bush is not even Prescott Bush. It's Prescott Chase. Schieff. Same with George Bush and Baby Bush. Those are their true names. Look, you don't even know who your leaders are in this country unless you really do some serious homework. They have all undertaken different names. I would say 80% of them. Nikki Haley. It's not even her true name. So when you have a device like this, and you know how to do research, I think that's the main focus. I don't want to bring religion too far into this because it becomes argumentative to people. I want to respect everybody's boundaries and ask them to do the same for me, because what we need to do, theoretically, going through this process and figuring it out, is that we need to stay strong. But it all started with the dossier that made the tumbling come falling down. And many comments made tonight prove that by things that you brought up. And when we look at the focus points of what's going on and how much damage has occurred, this has been done mainly by one man, but standing behind many other world leaders that don't want this. When we talk reset, everybody was go buy gold, get rid of your bank accounts. Look, you cannot remove the money from the streets when you have a legalized corruption system in the government that needs these panhandlers out there working for cash. Is every drug dealer going to start taking a credit card machine? No, by God, no. And you know how pissed off the cartel would be if that started to happen, if this reset is all about technology taking over lives. Period. That's what the vaccinations were from. Everything that they are implementing in place is for the better good of man, as they call it. It refers to it in movies. It refers to it in music. Satanic rituals, upside down crosses. And the upside down cross is actually you hanging by your feet when they're done with you. Take a look at it. Take a picture of yourself. Put your arms out and turn the picture over and watch how it matches up. These everything we learn is civilization. You walk past things every day, but are your eyes truly open? When someone says they're awake, I could take them to school and back again, and they would say, holy crap. It's the same as when we look at Admiral Time Law. I used to explain to you, Dave, I think we talked about it with you, Randy. Maybe you were there, right? I don't know. What does it mean? It's the currency coming down the river with the banks on both sides. Get it? Left and right? 2 wars. Admiral Time Law. These things are all in place, and they are utilizing these strategies. Both sides in this war, more than a chess game, we're something above it all. What is above it all is the biggest question. That's the what if.
Hey, I'm gonna say something real quick, and then I'm gonna have to go.
Okay, Ray, go ahead.
Through everything in life, we don't agree with much sometimes. Sports, this and that. But one thing I could say most Americans believe in, and maybe it's me, but I do believe most Americans believe in God. Now, with that being said, I'm not one of these people who knows the parables in and out, but I know it states somewhere. It says, if you deny me in front of man,
Yep.
I will deny you in front of the Father.
Yep.
So if we're a nation of true believers, we have to believe that God has ordained everything for his good. We have to believe that the 2,500 plus people, patriots, whoever they considered themselves to be, that was in Texas, along with myself, that was praying for God to intercede on behalf of this nation against this evil. We have to believe that he's going to hear the cries of his children. If we are Christ followers and true Christ believers, because at the end of the day, he's all we have. He's all we have. All the materialistic, all the physicalness. He is all we have. Collectively, individually, however you want to slice it and dice it. And with that, I appreciate the opportunity of being on here.
Before you go,
yeah.
William, Thursday night, 7:00. That's the next Boogie with the Bull. Do you want to be on the broadcast? I'll make sure you get a link.
All right, listen, Dave. I heard you earlier. I am not going to commit because I ain't trying to hurt your feelings.
No. I know. No. I'm not.
I understand. But
right.
Hey, if I'm around, right now I'm trying to make arrangements to get up to DC. I'm gonna spend a couple of weeks up there at Freedom Corner with the Patriots and bring some great coverage from up there and some great interviews with people that's been up there for the past 2 years on Ground Zero, from Miss Ashley Babbitt's mom to others. So I hope to make it, and I hope to be on here again. But
good. Looking forward to it.
Other than that, Michael Anthony, it is a pleasure being on here with you, sir. Anytime I can share the platform with Mr. Anthony and learn some stuff. Only thing I'm sad is I didn't have my pen and paper. But, hey,
take notes. Take notes. Actually, Randy will send you the notes because the next time Michael's on, there will be a test.
You know what I actually tried doing? I actually paid the extra money to have the Microsoft Word program on my computer, and it actually has built into a where it actually will type as you speak. So I played one of the shows back, and to see if the Microsoft Word would type the words, and sure enough, it typed the words out as people were talking. The sad thing it doesn't do is it doesn't differentiate between who's talking. It's just one big humongous paragraph of the conversation. But it works. So
has anybody heard if they impeached Mayorkas yet? I know they were getting ready to vote.
Yeah. I actually did not hear. I will look into it tomorrow, and I will have an answer before Thursday.
You have to do what?
Ray asked if we are any closer to actually removing Mayorkas from DHS.
What was Raymond's question?
His question was, are we any closer to removing Secretary Mayorkas from DHS yet?
Well, I'm trying to see if they had to vote. They was getting ready to vote when I came on your show. Well, the House was anyway.
Then at the least I'll look into it after we're off and have something ready for as soon as I have any update on it. But Ray, always a pleasure to have you on.
Yep. Great seeing you again, Raymond.
Who got dogs? Somebody got some animals back there.
Yeah, my dogs are going crazy because the family came home from karate, so there's a little bit of background noise there. But
that's good.
But all right, Raymond, always a pleasure. You are welcome anytime you want to come on.
Good night, gentlemen.
All right,
take care. So, Michael, you staying on? You staying with us, or are you going to be going off too?
I'm here for a minute.
Okay, another minute. So, I caught your last couple of broadcasts with the lady and the gentleman about the world of, how do I say it, space, the final frontier.
What's in the skies?
Yeah, what's in the skies, the visitations.
Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
First off,
the views are astronomical, believe it or not.
You know, first off, I did follow the guy. When you mentioned about following him, as soon as I heard that, I went into his Facebook profile, found him. I don't think he responded to me yet, but I did hit follow. I love the guy's beard. Oh, my God. He'd be a great Santa Claus. But between his testimony to what he experienced personally and hers, it's like there's no denying we're being visited on a massive scale, and it's only a matter of time to when they're actually going to land their craft and show up on the 8 o'clock news.
Well, that's already happened, Rand. That's the whole funny part about it. Even the Washington Post reported it in 1952 when there was 9 crafts going over our Capitol in the White House, which several incidents happened over a 2-week period. It was all over the news, man. I mean, look, it wasn't our stuff. Our pilots were trying to chase them down, and they made us look like idiots. I mean, whatever they are, whatever it is. There's things in question here. That's why I do it. And the guests have been superb. They're really talented. They're great. They are some people of differences in many ways from different parts of the world. Mark comes out of the UK, and the book I think we were referring to on that show was Europe's Roswell. But has there not been a Roswell event everywhere throughout the world? Yes. That's why they are called. That's one of the key elements that people must remember. Roswell, yes. New Mexico, keep that in mind. But then suddenly we have Brazil's, we have Mexico's, we have several in the UK. Why does everybody take that position? Why has everybody opened up some type of facility of concern when it comes to it? Italy in the early 1900s said that they were actually in touch with a different race from a different place. I'll just say it that way. Kind of rhymes, but it's factual. And we've heard these types of things before where, and then David Grush, of course, another Pittsburgh person, wonder why I have so much information. No, I'm just saying. But the point is, he went in front of Congress. He said, we are, and we do have things as well as biological entities. So that wasn't the first time we've heard that. Clifford Stone said it. We know that there is things that have happened. The story is used. Here's the point, though. I think to get back to circle it back and with good character is to say we got a lot more work to do. There's always going to be more questions than answers. But I know in my life, I've witnessed it myself firsthand. I can say that and not feel any type of shame for saying it. And I believe a very limited amount of people come forward on what they do see because of the fear that that they will have to deal with the cognitive outsource of people's opinions and thought, because they speak about something that most people still say it's not factual. And either of the chemtrails, which we all know are becoming more prevalent every day, and people are learning about it more every day. And we'll get to a part, I think, where we'll all be more awake. But I got to say this, with the guests I have upcoming also, there's going to be some real mind-blowing event testimony basically being shared as I walk them through some of the descriptions. And I got to tell you, it's some of the most exciting points and times of my life, because it's a subject that I studied for 53 years with thousands of case events. And now I also have a Real Talk live radio, and I also have an international system set up in place, just as big as MoveOn, where I have a person in every state in the United States only at this point, starting to be established, coming in, and we're getting ready to take this on because MoveOn's not doing their job, and we need to step into place to do something for it. So it'll be an international sighting hotline.
So when is our I just had my mind, I was listening to you talk. Oh my God. Oh my God. I just had my having to talk to you about it. Oh Jesus, Randy, your head. Well, you know the movie series about the spaceship came down and had all the citizens that were kidnapped over the centuries. Yeah.
That actually reflects a true story called Planet Serpo.
So when is our day where these people, these alien entities, are going to finally land and talk to us, either in a good way or a bad way? Are we having to wait for the Bill Gates and the others to we're doing the chemtrails in the sky to affect the weather conditions or the fertility of the ground? Do we have to prep our planet in preparation for these people to actually find land and live amongst us?
Well, I think there's part of a narrative within it that they source of energy.
I'd rather take the bigger stuff for if I have time. I don't want to waste my time on the bigger stuff. I want to stuff that I need.
We're losing.
Dave. Okay. Good guess. So yeah. So
people aren't smart enough to pull this off. They are being guided.
Yeah. I know that the day is coming when we're going to finally get our visitation. It's just a matter of are they coming in peace or are they coming to take over our planet? And the more I think about what the multi-billionaires are doing to, force the farmers out of business, to force the farmers to kill off their livestock, the chemically treated in our air, the nuking of the landmass in Hawaii and other places. It's almost like they're prepping our planet and for something bigger.
Yeah, you're right. And I talked about this with you guys. I promise I did. Maybe you weren't there. That's fine. I don't mind reviewing. But it's a theory we need to look at much stronger and bring the facts to the table, which you just did, and how they reflect to the possibility of that or an extinction level event in ELO.
Yeah.
Under the OWO, the old world order, these preparations started, the underground cities and deep underground military. Look, there's so many, they can house hundreds of thousands, but they're not releasing that information. But however, they're collecting and gathering who they want to save. So they're gonna be able to get a pretty much they're going to have a place of safety to go, while many of us up on the top surface will not, if something like that were to happen. But they're taking us down that road by actually changing the structure in plants, fruits, vegetables, etc. There.
Yeah.
Coming up with creative meat sources because they're no longer going to exist. They are taking us through a preparation that only measures up to an extinction level event to occur in ways. And then you have a good side and a bad side on top, trying to say, we can do this better. We are working with the good side. You guys are working with the bad side for all the wrong intentions. One side saying we can fix this, the other side saying we need to do this, and by depopulating, we'll have less mass events of people going crazy and shooting up themselves and whatnot, trying to survive. So if you can start to extinct the level of the population to a manageable population size, then you could house them. The possibility of housing them then exists. So
your comments just now about changing our food to reflect the aliens' appetite. The fact that they're producing fake food out of whatever the hell they're producing of, and I saw the video of this. I'm not sure it was China or Hong Kong, but they're Asian, and they're going through this factory, and they're showing how this food is being produced with all this, kind of material. But when the end process, the guy walked up and got himself a steak, and the other guy got himself some fish, and he couldn't believe, at least for the video anyways, how it tasted so much like the real deal. And of course, this whole big deal with pushing us to eat insects, maybe they're preparing us, exactly. That TV series V, where the aliens look like humans, but they
came down to steal the water.
Yeah, but they're like lizards, and they would eat, mice and so forth, and they were actually taking the humans and mushing us into a blender and shooting out this liquid stuff, and they're eating us. But that's food for another subject.
So the green.
Any last words, Michael? I'm going to be into myself here so shortly.
No, I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
Right,
you guys have yourself a great evening. I'm going to cut out. Let me know when you guys are on next. I'll try to do what I can.
Thursday night, 7:00, Michael. Thursday night, 7:00.
It was a joke.
I'm going to be starting to broadcast my own soon. I actually have a sponsor who's going to support me in a broadcast dealing with the South, their lifestyle, the war between North and South.
Coming on with me.
What?
One of your friends, Mike's coming on with me.
When what?
One of your friends, Mike, is coming on with Michael.
Oh, okay.
He's coming on with me.
Is that Michael Mikowski?
I believe that's his name, yes.
That's my former general.
Okay.
I don't know. But it's not about anything or anyone. It's just subject matter on position, slots, what they're doing. Just, a regular general conversation scenario because of the outlook and interest that everybody has, because of the enormity of the situation we're all dealing with.
Well, let me know so I can watch.
From everywhere.
Let me know when it's on so I can watch.
I will do that for you.
You take care, Michael.
All right, Michael. 7 p.m. Thursday night or possibly 10 o'clock Saturday morning. I will let you know as it gets closer to Saturday. But
and that ends it for me as well. I got a couple things I want to end up before I go to bed.
right.
It was great. It was different.
It was different. Do you want to do it yourself, Randy, or do you want me to do it for you? It's more dramatic when you do it yourself.
Oh, okay. We're gonna parachute. Oh, but before I go, my broadcast is going to be pushed off until Sunday because I do have someone coming on with me to discuss stuff from the South.
Good.
And Sunday works out for him, so I'll give me some time to get together with him for details. But tentatively, the
Thursday and Friday at 10 o'clock.
No, it's going to be Sundays.
Okay.
at 6 o'clock. And the tentative name of the show is The Road to Discovery. It's going to be about the South. It's going to be about the war between North and the South. It's going to be about the flag. It's going to be about the monuments, the statues. It's going to be about what he does, which is phenomenal from an aspect of what the details he has on that. We're going to talk things about, using his words, good old boys. It's going to be just about the South, the Southern lifestyle, the heritage, the pride behind it, and the desire for the South to rise again to create its own nation, separate from the North. So that's always a conversation.
The road to discovery, this time spelled ROAD, as in the road to get there. Brought to you by the nice folks at All Roads, RHODES, lead to home genealogy services. Randy and I are going to goof around at 10 o'clock on Thursday morning, and again 10 o'clock on Friday morning. And I think it's tentatively called Boogie with the Bull. The shit hits the fan. All right, Randy, always a pleasure. Have a great evening, and we will see you the next time we see you.
And it was time for me to pull that parachute.
Oh, there it is. All right, Randy. Always a pleasure to have Randy on. Let's see. We had William Rayfield from the Patriots Lab. Follow him on the William Rayfield Facebook page. The Patriots Lab is a group, so follow that. I got to flip back to my script here. Go to the Michael Anthony Facebook profile and become his friend. Take part in the discussions. Watch the broadcast. Michael's friends get notifications of when the broadcasts happen. And that's because nobody, not even Michael, knows the schedule of the broadcast. But you'll see them, and you should watch them. Also, regardless of whatever anybody says, the American Rebellion is on Rumble Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern on Rumble. Go watch it. And that's all I'm going to say on that. And we'll flip back to here. Thank you, Paul, for saying it was a great show. We enjoyed putting it together and doing it. Had a really good time. This is the direction that we're going to try to move into. And just as we go along, more and more people will be invited to pop in and join us for a portion of it. And Robin, you asked a question where Jerry is tonight. Well, I'm going to say is when the ashes rose after the Phoenix burned or whatever, he is decided not to be on Boogie with the Bull anymore. And that's all I'm going to say about that. You can go watch the American Rebellion, and you can ask him on the American Rebellion if that's what you wish to do. I recommend you don't. But the door is open if he wants to come back here. The door is always open for anybody. If we have a Boogie with the Blowout, the door is always open for people to come back. And if we can work it out, we work it out. I did the broadcast this morning. Everybody knows how I am. The dementia has nothing to do with me cutting people off or interrupting people. It was long before that, so I don't care that that's what people seem to think it was. It's my style. It's the way I've done broadcasts for as long as I've done them. So as I said this morning, if it is a problem for a guest to have to deal with hearing the bathtub or the toilet flush or animals and dogs in the other parts of the house or people in the other parts of the house because they have to hear me or people, other things going on here in the bedroom studio, if it's too much for you, I apologize. I spent most of tonight's broadcast with my mic turned off because I was doing live shares and coordinating other things and listening to people who were talking, and there really wasn't much of a problem. I want to thank Randy Rhodes for pretty much moderating the program and letting me sit in live producer mode, which was good. And the last thing I'm going to say is go to 2020americabook.com and buy these two puppies right here. 2020, A Clear Vision for America, and 2020, A Clear Vision for Our Future, both written by our friend, retired Marine Corps Captain Bill Muckler, who hosts the Bill Muckler Show Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. You can see it on the Bill Muckler Facebook profile, or you can see it in the Bill Muckler Show group. And I recommend that if you're watching it, you share it all over Facebook, everywhere you can. And you can even take it off of Facebook and share it on other social media networks if you feel so inclined. And Bill will appreciate it if you do. 2020americabook.com is where you buy the books. 2020americabook.com. Anyway, I'm Dave Blue, and you're not. This is the part of the broadcast where I tell you you've been watching Boogie with the Bull Tuesday Night Live, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company, and we're really glad that you watched. Jade McMillan, who watched this morning, was here. Paul Smith was here. Danny Campbell did his signature hello. Robin Brunson was here and recommends, if you want the best coffee available on Facebook, go to the Fat Cup Coffee Company Facebook page and over to fatcupcoffee.com and take a look at their website. And Barbara Emmons had the best comment of the night. Let's keep it cordial. So that's what we're going to do. That's all we're going to do. And I hope if anyone has an idea for a broadcast, please let me know. And you're more than welcome to come on and do it through Boogie with the Bull. And that's all I'm going to say on that note, because my mind is kind of slipping and I'm 7 minutes overtime. So double B's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast is going to come to an end. We're going to come down and hit that one. Then we're going to hit this one.